Hello again, my name's Anna Schmidt and I am a house healer, a spirit clearer and a psychic development teacher. And today we're going to be talking about confirmation signs. Now you might say, what is a confirmation sign? When you work with your spirit guides, they are going to communicate to you through some sort of bodily sense. So you're going to sense something when they're giving you your yes and no answer. So I thought this would be a perfect thing to talk about today because more people are becoming psychically and spiritually aware. They want to work with their spirit guides, but they say to me, how do I know that they're communicating with me? So I'll be giving examples of how they communicate with me, what I've learnt over the years, and how you can use your confirmation signs to help you make decisions and choices in your life. So if you like what I talk about today, please feel free to subscribe, leave me a like, give me a comment. Okay, so let's get into it. What are confirmation signs? So when you start working with your spirit guides, you need to understand how they are going to respond to you. Now, some people get a bodily sign, which I will be talking about in a moment, and some people get psychic signs. So we're going to talk about the two different aspects today. Now, when I say psychic signs, you don't have to be psychic. It's just a way of using your senses. So you may see, hear, feel, or know. Just know information. So sometimes they will use a specific sense that you have mastered, even if you don't know you've got it, and all of a sudden you've got this voice talking to you and you're like, okay, that's given me the answer I need, thank you. So being open and aware to how they are going to respond with you, and you will get to know and understand the sign. It will tend to be the same sign continuously. I have a spot on the outside of my left leg. It's about 20 centimeters long above the knee. I get a very strong tingling sensation there. It'll be mild if I'm kind of near the answer that I need, but if I'm really spot on for myself or for a reading client or for a house healing job, I will get this really strong tingle that can sometimes run all the way up the side of my body and go out the top of my head. Don't ask me why it does that, it just does. So I've learnt over the last probably about 8 or 9 years that this tingle on the outside of my leg is my yes sign. So how do you know what your sign is? You've got to be aware. You ask your guides to show you. It's as simple as I give my spirit guides permission to show me my confirmation sign for yes. Start with yes first. Once you've got your yes down pat and you know whether it's a touch on the head or it might be a little tweak on the end of your nose. I used to get someone that would poke me in the side of the nose, which was quite funny when I was out with people. And I'd be thinking about something and I'd get this poke and it'd be like, they'd be looking at me like, what's wrong with her? And I'm going, it's okay, I just got my answer. So it can be a bodily sensation. It can also come to you in your dreams. They will use whatever works for you. When you psychically open to start with, they're going to keep it simple. This tingle sign, I've only had for the last 8 or 9 years. I've been psychic for a lot longer than that. And they used to talk to me in my dreams, talk to me in my head, all sorts of things. But I find this is a quick method. When I know I get that big tingle there, that's a definite yes. I don't have to sit and think about it. It's just a definite yes. My no, which you'll find is really funny, I get this gong on the side of the head. It's like gong. And it's just like, and the harder the gong is, the firmer the no is. It's like, don't you dare do that. And they're like telling me, and my back of my head's tingling now because they're having a bit of a giggle. So it's all about being aware of the changes within your body. Now, if it's a serious change, like your heart is really palpitating fast or it's hurting or you've got a body part that's really not right, I always say to people, go and see your doctor first. Once you've got medical clearance to say that it's not a medical issue, then you can go, oh, okay, it might be my spirit guides talking to me. I used to get heart palpitations and I'd be driving across the Tasman Bridge, which is 5 lanes, no barriers in the middle, and I'm thinking, I need to get this looked at. There was absolutely nothing medically wrong with my heart. So when I was younger and opening up to my spiritual path, they would use a change in my heart rate slightly. It felt like a bit of a flutter. So I had it checked out. It was fine. So I knew for a few years that that was the confirmation sign. I'm getting tingle on the side of my leg. They're having a bit of a giggle about me doing this video. But a lot of people ask, how do I know when spirit guides are talking to me? You've got to be aware of how your energy feels. And then when you ask a question, whether you get this little touch or the tweak on the nose or your ear might twing or you get ringing in your ears, this is a classic sign of people opening up spiritually. Yes, it can be tinnitus. It can be all sorts of different things. You're listening to too many concerts, have music too loud. It's very possible. But I've found since my spiritual path has evolved, the ringing in my ears has got louder, it changes pitch. Sometimes it's like an orchestra. My dad used to call it drumming. He used to have the drummers in his ears doing like the African drumming. Mine's different. Mine's more like a different pitch of orchestras. When I have the heavier energies, which is not what we're talking about today, but I'm going to go there, I get a certain pitch in one of my ears that tells me that there are heavier vibrations around. So it's a really handy confirmation sign for positive things, but also for warnings, but also to give you your no answer. So you've just got to be open and aware. Now, sometimes your spirit guides, until you've got that body thing happening where you're really aware of yourself, they'll use your surroundings. So you might ask a question, or you might have a particular thought or a limiting belief about yourself. And you'll be driving along, and all of a sudden there'll be this bus right next to you. This is just a prime example I experienced where I wasn't being seen. I just felt like no one was seeing me, and I'd realised what the belief was and where it came from. And I'm driving through town thinking about, how I can be more seen. Along comes this bus beside me that says, "You are being seen." And I went, okay, that's a great confirmation. I pull into the car park, and as I'm going round and round and round as we do up the levels, and there was a sign, place for advertising that says, "Do you want to be seen?" And I had a good laugh because your spirit guides and management have a serious sense of humour, and they will send you things that'll literally be right in front of your face. So don't fob it off as, yeah, that's an advertising space. I've been in this car park many times, looked at that many times, but not in the same way or not with the same intention as I was being pushed to go, look at that, look at that. The bus was bigger. And it was so funny because it drove alongside me for a very long time, and they're going, "Are you sure you're being seen? Are you sure? Are you sure you're taking notice?" So your guides will use body confirmation. They will use things like your dreams. However you are receptive to receiving the information. I'm very visual. I use all the psychic senses, but feeling and visual are my two prime senses. Now, people who are auditory, you may hear voices. Now, again, go and see your mental health professional, see your doctor, get checked out. If you're okay, take the voices as a sign from above. They know that you are an auditory person and you are going to listen. Visually, you're like, nah, you don't take any notice. Your eyes aren't aware. Your ears are aware. So you hear that voice that says, yeah, you need to leave 10 minutes early. You've got a doctor's appointment, go 10 minutes early, 10 minutes early. And they'll keep saying it until you take notice. So go 10 minutes early and be aware of what happens on the way. This happened to me recently. I got told to leave 25 minutes early, and I'm like, no, I've got things to do. And they went, you go now, you're going to be late. Just as well I did, because I'd forgotten about the two rather large patches of roadworks, and I still made it to my appointment on time because I listened to them. Now, there can be a number of other signs as well. People who are visual may see coloured dots. Quite often when I was learning on my spiritual path, I would be thinking about the archangels a lot because I work with the higher vibrational beings. That's just my choice of word. I work with the archangel energies. And I would see this big blue dot about the size of a tennis ball just in front of my eyes with my eyes open. All right, sometimes they'd be there with my eyes shut, depending on when I was thinking. So with my eyes open, I'd be looking and I'd have this thought, I'd be asking a question, and I'd see this massive blue dot. And that blue dot became my confirmation sign for a long time. It's almost like they changed and evolved. I went from the heart palpitations and the flutters to seeing this big blue dot for yes, and either seeing a black dot or a red dot for no, to then moving on to my tingly sign and my gong that I get for a no. So as you evolve and become more aware and wake up when you're on your spiritual path, you're going to see these signs. These things are going to become regular happenings for you. I still sometimes see a black dot. Like if I'm asleep, well, not asleep, if I'm going to sleep, and as we know, when we're in bed, we don't stop thinking. So I'm lying there thinking at this particular thought or about a client situation or something that's going on, and I've got my eyes shut. I will see sometimes a blue sparkly dot for yes and a black dot for no. And I still take that as a confirmation sign for me. Even though I've got my definite yes, they're just saying to me that the yes on the outside comes from a different source. Now that's interesting because I've never thought of it like that before. So the archangels for me work through the dots. My spirit guides must work through this yes confirmation or management. They can't quite make their mind up, but they've just said to mention it. Just be aware of the changes within your own body, the changes in your environment at work or at home, little things you start noticing as your confirmation signs. People are quite connected to the idea of feathers. So another sign that people will see quite often is they'll ask a question and they'll say, can you please show me a white feather? You know, for a yes, or can you please show me a white feather to confirm a certain thing that they were thinking about? And they'll be getting in their car, going to work, get out of the car park or something. There's this white feather right in front of the door. You could go, yeah, that's just a white feather, but are there any other feathers around? Are there any other random scatterings of bird feathers? No, there is just this one feather. That is another form of confirmation. Your guides will work with you in whichever way you are going to receive the messages for your particular level of spiritual and psychic or self-awareness. Some people like to call it self-awareness. So I hope you found this interesting today, and you're going to be looking around and be more aware of the signs for you. Now, if you want to get this happening quicker, you just ask them. Simply, your spirit guides are there 24/7, 365 days a year. When you ask them a question, they're going to give you an answer. But before you can get that happening, you have to actually invite them into your life. So you can say to them, I am ready now for you to be part of my life. Can you please show me my yes confirmation? And be aware, it will change and it will evolve as you evolve working with your spirit guides. I just got a big tingle on my head. And those who see energy will see the energy change. So another thing is you might see colours changing around people, colours changing around objects as your confirmation sign. Be open and aware. Play with this. They love nothing more than us being open and going, I want to experience this. Please show me my confirmation sign. And then just be aware. Have fun with it. That's the most important thing. Don't become manic about it though. Some people find, they're not giving me a confirmation sign. It's probably right in front of your face, like the bus that was driving alongside me for a very long time, making sure I got the message. Have fun with this. Have a play with it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your confirmation sign is. I've shared my tingle and my gong that I get and my light colours and my heart flutterings. Some of you may experience the same things. So leave me a comment and let me know how you're going with it. Thank you for joining me today. I've had fun talking about confirmation signs. They're one of the things that people will find is really, really important when you start on your psychic path. You have to know how they're talking to you and how you're receiving their messages. So thank you for coming today. I really enjoyed this, and I'll see you again soon. So stay safe and look after each other. Okay?